Okay, so if you guys may have saw yesterday, the person gave me like a micro drone, so he wanted to fly it for fun. Apparently this is really old, so I agreed to take it home to try to set it up and fly it and all that. Just reading like the manuals and so forth, I think one of the batteries is actually dead. He was telling me he paid $500 for it. I'm like, $500? Yeah, so I'll test it out and see if it works, and I'll give it back probably like about Friday or something like that. What was crazy happening in the world today? Talk about things, I guess, that are dangerous, like go in the air. People often say, I don't know, balloons and kites are perfectly fine versus things like a drone, they're too dangerous. How about this one? Apparently there was like a kite festival, and it says a 3-year-old girl got caught on a kite, and literally she was like flying in the air, like while dangled in this kite. That's insane. Look at that video. Like you see, basically it's the festival, as he says, so there's a bunch of different kites. This one's like really huge, I guess. Somehow the kid got tangled up. Fortunately, in the end, it doesn't seem like anybody was hurt. But you can imagine what kind of a scare you would have, especially if you're the parents there, huh? At that age too, would the child actually be old enough to, how do you say, like remember that moment like 100%? Or would they forget this like after like a year or two as just like, it's one of those experiences where someone's gonna have to show them like a video or something like that and says, what? That was me on here? And with that thought of that micro drone and the cost of it, it makes you actually wonder how much these drones, like the DJI ones, actually cost at cost, for example, like what it costs them to get the parts and all that. So this one was kind of interesting. This one says, teardown of DJI drone reveals secrets of its competitive pricing. With drones finding their way into aerial photography, crop spraying, and many other applications, China's DJI technology has combined cost competitiveness and advanced technology to become the world's largest manufacturer of unmanned flying machines. DJI, which holds an estimated 70% of the global market, produces drones at half the cost of rivals, using an array of off-the-shelf parts. Disassembling one of its latest models reveals that it is composed of 80% commodity parts by value. So this is kind of interesting. Apparently they're using the Mavic Air 2 as their example, since that is new. It says Nikkei, together with Tokyo-based research specialist Fomalhaut Techno Solutions, conducted a teardown of the Mavic Air 2, DJI's newest lower-end model, which is priced at about $750. Disassembly revealed that the vehicle, by estimate, is made of components worth around $135. Imagine that, $135 worth of parts selling for about $750. A lot of it is for things like labor and stuff like that, markup and so forth. The cost of the components for the model, at around 20% of the retail price, is less than 30 to 35% of typical smartphones. It would cost us twice as much in materials alone as the prices of DJI to make a product with the same capabilities, said an executive with a Japanese drone maker. Many of the parts that give DJI drones their functionality are found in smartphones and personal computers. Such parts account for about 80% of the 230 components used in the Mavic Air 2. The camera has components found in premium smartphones. The GPS receiver is made from parts found in smartwatches. So things in terms of that camera being, I guess, smartphone quality, that's no surprise. Basically, I talked about that too. And I guess what's the most high price item? It says expensive parts costing more than $10 are limited to the battery, the camera, and a few others. And with that thought of, I guess, in the US wanting to ban Chinese-made drones and stuff, according to this, they say there's a lot of parts from the US. It said the teardown of the Mavic Air 2 found many US-made parts. The IC chips that control the battery, for example, are made by Texas Instruments, while those that amplify radio signals and eliminate noise are made by Qorvo. So a lot of neat tidbits, I guess you can say. A lot of it is just branding and marketing as well when it comes to products like these. I still remember there was an interview apparently with the founder of DJI or something like that, where one of his inspirations for the company was he was always, I guess in a way, upset that people didn't view Chinese-made products as like premium. Like I guess premium, for example, like even though, okay, there's parts made like for Apple iPhones and stuff like that made in China, but most people would see that as really expensive, like it's worth the price, whereas the perception of a Chinese-made good would be like, oh, it's cheap and so forth. So that was actually apparently one of his motivations, was he wanted people to see like Chinese-made stuff as like an exquisite brand as well, I guess you could say, with premium prices. I know there's a lot of companies that do that actually. They tell the retailers, if you sell our products below X amount of price, they'll basically stop letting them sell it because they have to maintain that image, so to speak. So yeah, many times it's not necessarily super expensive equipment, it is about marketing many times too. Alright, see you guys later.